Hey, have you heard? The President of the United States is giving $40 billion to Argentina. And that triggered something in my wife, Mrs. Pearlmania. You know how that happens when she gets triggered? She gets clicking. And she gets clicking on hyperlinks and tabs. And those tabs take her places that even I could not even imagine.
I don't know how we got to makeup influencers, but we did.
But you did. You took us all the way there. We're going to take you on a journey through Ratlines, all the way from Germany to Argentina, back up through Mexico City, landing in LA, and then to Indiana and beyond. On this week's episode of
Too Many Tabs. Remember to smile.
Welcome to Too Many Tabs, a comedy history podcast where a husband and wife duo sit next to each other at a table. My name is Alex Pearlman, also known as Pearlmania 500, and sitting next to me is
Mrs. Pearlmania.
On this show, we've had a button over here that we reference every now and then. It's the No Nazi Guarantee button. We're not hitting that this week.
We can't hit that this week.
No.
Because this is, trigger warning, this is going to be deep into the history of some of the things that Nazis did.
Yes.
And this did not start out like this.
No.
But I opened some tabs, and that's where it went.
You started researching on something that you haven't told me what that is.
Yeah.
And then you turned to me and I said, what is this week's episode about? And you said, Argentina in 1945.
Yeah.
And I said, oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
And then you were like, there's a lot here.
I started opening tabs, and at one point I was going to take a screenshot of it because I had like 20 open, and I was literally just on page 1 of the Google Doc.
Yeah, and that's how these things go. But you have there's a lot of reasons we should be covering Argentina, especially right now.
Well, this is what happened.
Okay.
The president just gave Argentina a lot of money.
$40 billion.
Yeah, and that's money we could have used to fix up the White House and make a nice ballroom.
Yes, we could. We could have built a better. I was going to say feed people. I was going to say maybe use healthcare subsidies.
Heel turn.
No. Instead,
I'm big into ballrooms.
You want a ballroom?
I want to pave rose gardens.
Well, can I tell you right now?
Yeah.
Can I tell you right now? Well, Paris is burning. Ha 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 cha 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 cha. Yeah, that's right.
It's great in the Lightning McQueen t-shirt.
It is. I'm wearing a Lightning McQueen t-shirt. Lightning. Is this a dog whistle? Okay. No.
No.
Okay. Now, the one thing is, as we get into this, you're gonna be covering, as you told me before the show, this is about how Nazis got from Germany after the war to Argentina.
Yes.
And then a little bit on the impact of what that had.
Yeah, so what happened was I wanted to know why the president would give Argentina that much money. Also with all the stuff with the beef and the soybeans, like there's a lot going on right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of Argentina soy boys.
I was clicking around and then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Argentina has a very long history with Nazis in 1945.
Yeah.
And then so I was researching, I opened a couple tabs on that, and then I fell down a hole, and I just kept clicking, and it took me to a very strange situation that I'm very excited to tell you about at the end.
Okay. So you're Babe Ruthing me right now.
You're
calling your shot.
I'm calling it.
Thank God that finger's out. You almost Elon Musk's heart goes out.
I was pointing like I was
for the audio listeners. Her finger was pointed out.
I was pointing out like I was calling a home run.
Yeah, I know. But now, anytime someone waves on Rightwing Twitter, they have to screenshot it.
I'm not on Twitter.
I know.
And I'm not on Rightwing Twitter because you know why? I care about my sanity.
Yeah.
So I don't go on those websites.
Well, you can always go. I mean, we're going to start doing all of our research on Grokpedia.
Yeah. Oh, that's where I got all of this.
You got all of this? You found out exactly what the Nazis did?
I said, is that true, Grok?
Can I tell you something right now? Just before we get into the main show.
Sure.
Grokpedia rolled out this week.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
No.
It's Elon Musk's Wikipedia. Oh. That has been 100% quote fact checked by Grok.
That doesn't
Most of it has just been scraped from Wikipedia, but people have noticed specific articles clearly have had a different editor come in to give them, like, any article about Elon. There's like an article about Cybertrucks. Like, everybody thinks they're super cool. But the one about Adolf Hitler, on Wikipedia, they're like, hey, just so you know, we want to get right into the fact that he did the Holocaust.
Yeah.
He killed millions of people. Bad guy.
Yeah.
That's in like the third or fourth sentence.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly. On Grokpedia, they're like, that's not even in the first intro. They're like, we're not even going to bring up architect of the Holocaust for a long time.
Okay,
All
so
right.
listen, let's get started. Let's get into this. We got a lot to cover.
We got a lot. Okay.
And this is a history.
This is a
comedy history podcast.
Yeah, I was gonna say comedy comes first.
Yeah,
Because
which is difficult in this conversation.
It is.
I know.
Okay.
So I want to talk to you about Ratlines. Do you know what Ratlines are?
Okay. I'm gonna assume this isn't the hairline of conservative influencers.
No, this isn't a line of people trying to cross a picket line to be scabs.
With Scabby the Rat.
Scabby the Rat, baby.
Okay, no, this is not that. Okay, what is a rat line?
Okay, so a rat line were the systems of escape routes used by the German Nazis and other fascists to flee Europe after World War II. Okay, so the escape routes they took are called rat lines.
Wait, so the Nazi Underground Railroad to escape justice.
Yes.
And Nuremberg trials and everything, any sort of culpability for what they did.
Yeah.
Was called a rat line.
The rat line, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
So the rat lines routes mainly led towards havens in South America, Argentina, Brazil, Chile, and Paraguay. Okay,
Which is like most of the landmass of
most of the landmass,
but not all of these countries.
No.
but most when we were looking at South America, it's
but
like the bottom
I'm
three
gonna
quarters.
focus on Argentina because that's where I started this. Like, what's going on?
Well,
in
Argentina famously, it's like
Yeah.
pretty famously. There was
You say famously, but not everyone knows this kind of stuff.
Okay, that's true. But when it comes to South America, and especially all right, it's because I watched a lot of movies from the 70s. This is one of those things, you know?
Yeah.
But there's like The Boys from Brazil, which is about people who are trying to clone Hitler. And then there was a bunch of other different things about, there was always this like theory that Hitler didn't actually kill himself.
Yeah, that he faked it and then moved to Argentina.
Yeah, and this was one of those running. I think The Simpsons even have like a joke about it.
Yeah.
And all these different things.
So there were really only two primary rat lines routes from Germany to South America. And when I say rat lines, like you were saying, Underground Railroad style, like they're talking between themselves. There's people helping. There's places to stay.
There's little nodes.
There's people like international committees that are working together to get the paperwork right. Like who's getting you on a boat? Who's getting you on a plane?
Yeah.
Like there's all these different things happening. So there's two primary routes in the rat lines. And they were developed independently. So they were just like Nazi fascists that were trying to escape, and they're coming up with their own ways to do it. But then they had collaborators, and eventually the operators of these rat lines got together and kind of like made one big rat line.
It's always crazy to me that we still use the term collab. Like because of like whenever I first heard the term collaborator,
Yeah.
they're like, oh my God, so and so is doing a collab. I was like, oh, don't be a collaborator.
Whoa. This is not that type of collab, okay?
Yeah. But these collaborators are Nazi
Here's
collaborators.
one of the collaborators I found out about: the Catholic Church.
Oh shit. Which is crazy because that's crazy because of how many Catholics. There were a lot of Catholics who were what's the word I'm looking for?
Killed.
Persecuted by the Holocaust.
Yeah.
There were many that were killed, but also persecuted in other different ways.
Yes.
Because the Catholic Church was targeted. The Catholic Church also, though, did do collaborations with the Nazis and with Benito Mussolini's fascist government in Italy.
Yep.
That's the reason Vatican City is its own nation state is because of Mussolini and because that the Vatican and the Pope in Rome did not he didn't view the nation of Italy as a proper nation. He's like, some of those lands are mine. You can't just combine them. I have a historical right. And finally they're like, how about this? You shut up and then you can be your own country. And they're like,
All right.
look at me. I'm a pope.
I'm a pope. So specifically, I found this one bishop. His name is Aloy. What do you think? Aloy?
I go with Aloy.
Aloy Hudal. And he was an Austrian bishop and a rector at the Catholic Seminary for Austrian and German priests in Rome.
Got it.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense why he would be involved then.
Yes.
So just real fast for the listeners who don't know.
Okay.
Austria was enveloped into Germany because Hitler was from Austria and he wanted to, quote, combine all the German peoples into one super state. And this is a long running system that had run throughout like over 200 years of these tiny little German states getting gobbled up into a larger German empire, and then Austria, Hungary, all these different things. They enveloped Austria. And this guy being, number one, an Austrian bishop in Rome.
Yep.
So probably for most of the war, right? He's down in Rome. So he's not developed directly into the war, but his job of being a German Austrian instructor for the seminary and in charge of that means I want you guys to think of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Okay. Game
the
of Thrones.
Bald guy who's like, my little birds.
Yeah. Not Littlefinger.
Not Littlefinger.
What's his name?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The eunuch. Anyway, it's very similar to that, where these priests, they're all over Germany, Austria, and all these different areas, and so they're coming back and they're telling him stories. Varus.
He had the worst ending. I was so mad at the way they killed him off.
Well, I was so mad at that whole show. I was so mad at the whole show at the end.
Listen.
People tell me all the time, watch House of the Dragon. I'm not doing it. Fool me once, shame on you.
Yeah.
Fool me twice, I won't be fooled again.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
I said Go Birds because I just picked up my cup and it has the eagle on it.
But also, I won't be fooled again.
I won't be fooled again. Okay, so he
is always Hudel.
Hudel. He after the end of the war, Hudel became active in ministering to German-speaking prisoners of war who were being held in camps throughout Italy.
Okay, well, and the reason why there were German war criminals, German prisoners, because not all of them were war criminals, some of them were just soldiers, being held in internment camps all across Italy, is Benito Mussolini was overthrown during World War II. Hitler then sent the German military in and reinstalled Mussolini.
Yeah.
And so then he occupied Italy, like basically Rome up. Of Italy for a while, and so there was a lot of fighting in Italy, and there was a whole thing about it.
Yeah, so Hudel used his position as bishop to aid the escape of wanted Nazi war criminals. He was, later they interviewed him about it, and he was unabashedly open about his role in all of this.
Oh, wow.
Some of these men were being held in internment camps and didn't have identifying papers. So he would help them register under false names. And he actually used, he had contacts at the Red Cross, like the actual Red Cross. And he used the Red Cross to help him get these papers. Fake names.
And that's something to keep in mind for the listeners, because we're looking at all this in the context of today.
Yeah.
We're looking at this in the context of a time where everything about us is completely interconnected in the world, and it feels very hard to move at all in our current world with any anonymity.
Yeah.
Right? Because of Ring cameras, because of our phones, credit reports, any of these different things. Credit reports in America didn't exist till 1987. That's the reason why you used to hear all these stories. Beyond just the fact they had more money and the money actually was worth more, you used to hear all these stories about like dude who goes 3 towns over and becomes a different person.
Yeah.
Or has a second family or any of those different things. Like there was a disconnect. Like you just went to a town and someone was like, oh, he's a good dude. And that was it. That was your credit.
Yeah.
Your credit, your social credit literally was somebody going, oh, he's fine. And then on a piece of paper, like a driver's license or a passport, and it was just like 2 or 3 stamps.
Yeah.
It didn't go to a centralized location in a lot of these things. In America, especially, like a lot of your documentation was run by just some person at a local office who a series of people stamped down the line. So in this case, when you have a cardinal working with the Red Cross going, no, that's just Timmy.
Yeah.
That's Tim. That's not. You think he did a concentration camp? No, sir. He is a good boy. I know his mother. He's good. And then they're like, all right. And like, imagine you're an American soldier, right? American or French or British soldier working there. And you're saying there's like the priest in front, bishop is standing in front of you telling you he's a good guy.
Listen,
you'd be like,
but
okay.
also it could just be the Red Cross person that worked there was also a fascist. So it could also just be
there is also that. There were collaborators in America. There were like we gloss over them all the time.
Yeah.
There was a famous at Madison Square Garden Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, the guy from the Kill Tony bomb there.
That is Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about in 1930.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not.
I just thought they just went there.
No, actually, I think it was like in the 1920s. No, it wasn't. Tony Hinchcliffe was not headlining that Nazi rally.
But he did headline a Nazi rally.
No, he opened.
Oh.
Tony Hinchcliffe opened. Remember? That's why he bombed when he got up with that Puerto Rico joke.
That's
They would,
hurtful,
Tony
very specifically comedy hurtful.
Yeah, it is. Because, Tony Hinch. Oh, hi, I'm Tony Hinchcliffe. I release hours of content. It's not yours. It's you sitting at a panel talking shit on people who have the bravery to get up and actually tell jokes.
Wow.
If you were brave, you would admit who you are about yourself, Tony Hinchcliffe.
Let me tell you about this bishop's memoirs.
Okay.
Because again, I said he is like, there's no ashamed of what he's did. Here's a quote from one of his memoirs.
Okay.
I thank God that he allowed me to visit and comfort many victims in their prisons and concentration camps and to help them escape with false identity papers.
When he says that, is he talking about people in concentration camps before 1945?
No, he's talking about the Nazis being held in Italy.
In internment camps?
Yes.
He's talking about them being held in prisoner of war camps.
Yes.
Not in concentration camps where they're concentrating together entire groups of people to ethnically cleanse them.
Yeah, see, but he's saying that no, it was
different
Nazis
because it was
that were
his
victim-
people.
Yeah,
it was different because it was his people.
Yeah.
So because he saw Germans who had the same beliefs as him being held inside of barbed wire, he said that can't happen.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, his belief was people who are different than me should be held inside of barbed wire.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Another quote. The Allies' war against Germany was not a crusade, but the rivalry of economic complexes for whose victory they had been fighting. This so-called business used catchwords like democracy, race, religious liberty, and Christianity as a bait for the masses. All these experiences were the reason why I felt duty-bound after 1945 to devote my whole charitable work mainly to former National Socialists and Fascists, especially these so-called, quote, war criminals.
I just want to say that the fact he put after 1945 in there is crazy.
Yo.
But also the front half of that quote is verbatim shit that I have seen on TikTok of people falling for translated Hitler quotes.
Oh.
There's a whole thing on TikTok of people, because on TikTok, and especially like here, we might have an issue with YouTube because we've said the word Nazi and Hitler and we're talking about the Holocaust, all these different things. Sometimes they're
I'm
filters.
changing the name of the channel to History Channel.
History Channel? The Comedy History Podcast.
Yeah.
This week, Nazis. No, but that's in general, like, but algo speak, right?
Yeah.
On TikTok, you've heard people say Yahtzees for a long time. They'll say instead of Hitler, they'll say Mustache Man. A big one is they'll say, oh, this speech from The Painter. They call Hitler the Painter. And then they play, and it's these really terrifying fucking videos where you hear this man yelling, and then they came for us, and this is a war that we've been fighting for a very long time. It is about economics. We need the Lebensraum to grill and build up our... And they're sitting, and you see these people sitting in their cars.
Yeah.
In Idaho, in fucking Missouri, all across the middle of the fucking nowhere. These people sitting alone, listening to this AI voice, and they'll be like, oh, they never played me this in high school. Why would they wouldn't play you a Hitler speech in high school.
No.
They wouldn't. They never translated these for me. You can read Mein Kampf. It's a lunatic's diary.
Yeah.
It's a lunatic's prison
Famously
diary.
loved methamphetamines.
It's everything listed in there is fucking dumb, right? And so this is almost direct Nazi propaganda quotes that they were telling the German people.
Yeah.
That America specifically is fighting us, America and the British and others. This is actually this is an economic war.
Yeah.
All of this is an economic war. That's why a lot of the Nazis were shocked when they were told the only way to end the war was total capitulation. They were shocked when they're like, the only way that this war ends is if we do total surrender, because that wasn't the norm. In the past, big major wars like this you would negotiate.
Yeah.
You would come in and go, okay, well, these things will happen, but like, all right, so like maybe 20% of our leaders, these guys over here, you specifically hate these three guys, we'll exile them, we'll do this type of stuff. I mean, look at like Napoleon killed millions of people, right? Napoleon ended up on an island twice. The first one was a super nice island, like right near France, that he got bored and hopped on a boat and floated back.
Bro, just stay on your island.
The second one, they put him in an island in the middle of fucking nowhere until he died of stomach cancer or was poisoned. That's a whole different thing.
I mean, I don't know. That's a different history.
I know, but this is the context that these Nazis were in, which is why they were so shocked by the end of the war.
Yeah.
And also at the same exact time, they had the Soviets coming on the other side and just pushing their shit in. Just really pushing their shit in.
So it's estimated that 9,000 Nazi war criminals and their collaborators escaped to South America.
9,000?
Yeah, and that's not including like wives and kids. That's just the men being
These
listed.
are just the individual men. And a lot of them did have families.
Yeah.
And so then we're not including the kids that were then raised in Argentina being told how things were good beforehand.
Yeah.
We're not including the wives who are then integrating themselves into cultures and making sure that everybody, like dropping little dog whistles and little ideas throughout everything. Okay.
So listen, here's what I want to do.
Okay.
I have a list of some of the people that this bishop actually helped specifically.
So you have a reverse Schindler's List situation?
I do have a reverse Schindler's List, but
Okay.
I think after we take a little break, we'll come back.
Yeah.
I need to take a deep breath.
We're all going to need to take a deep breath and maybe chill a little bit before we go into this list right after this. Sick of edibles that taste like lawn clippings and hit like chamomile tea? IndaCloud makes THC that's legal, delicious, and actually does its job. Looking for better sleep? They've got a gummy for that. Want a light social buzz? IndaCloud has got you covered easy. And guys, I want to let you know, I sometimes need to go into cloud myself. I hop on the dope rope. That's a real product that they have every now and then. And Mrs. P, you see me.
You get your dope rope.
Yeah.
And then you go upstairs and you close the door.
Yeah.
And then you disappear for a few hours. And the next morning you're refreshed.
I'm a little bit more chill.
Yeah, a little
That's
bit more
really what it
chill.
comes down to.
Yeah.
IndaCloud isn't just another cannabis brand. It's a fully legal online dispensary that's already moved enough product to impress Snoop himself. With flower for $70 per ounce, whatever the vibe, IndaCloud's got a match that's tested, trusted, and delivered right to your door. If you're 21 or older, grab 30% off your first order plus free shipping with code TABS at indacloud.co.
That's INDACLOUD.co. Code TABS for 30% off, free shipping, and snacks suddenly taste like an adult Michelin star meal. Fill out their quick survey when you order to support our show. Then go finish that episode, that game, and that snack you started. Enjoy responsibly, and thanks to IndaCloud for sponsoring today's show.
Oh boy. Oh wow, it's me, Chef Pepe Pepperoni. Just want to say thank you so much for the sponsor on this episode that is totally not a bummer whatsoever. We love whatever the sponsor was that was there. You were very lovely. And if you don't want to hear the sponsors, always join us at Pearlmania500.net. And remember, we are probably being suppressed by the man, right? Because when you're trying to sell a pizza or maybe a t-shirt, Mrs. Pearlmania, show them the t-shirt. Look at that. It says a miscellaneous immorality, and it has things on it like a John Brown, potatoes, the board, and soup. We love all of this. Check the show notes down below. And now, hello, Mrs. P. We go back into the show. It says me, Pepe, Chef Pepe Pepperoni.
To be clear for the audio listeners that just experienced what I can only assume was incredible chaos, we have a puppet. And it's
not a puppet. That's a man.
It's a pizza puppet.
That's a fully fleshed out man.
A fully fleshed out character.
Chef
for
Pepe Pepperoni, who is very good at making gluten-free pizzas.
It's true.
It's a lot of people, by the way. A lot of people were very upset with you on the $80 lasagna.
Oh, it's my fault that the grocery prices are crazy.
A lot of people didn't hear you say gluten-free lasagna in that clip.
The noodle prices are literally double because it's gluten-free.
Yeah, and then on top of
it was ground beef. Tomatoes, mozzarella. I had to get Parmesan, which I shaved myself.
Yep.
Guess what? And this is going to be, listeners that cook or understand, I had to buy olive oil. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The price of olive oil.
But it was all worth it because everybody enjoyed the episode. We enjoyed the lasagna.
After we recorded the episode, we all went downstairs and ate lasagna.
We ate a lasagna, and then we all looked over. His name was Dust Kickstarter for his secret garden party adventure club.
Yeah.
Which is we're still going to put in the show notes down below if you're into D&D. Check that out. Now, back to our reverse Schindler's List because... Does it feel like I'm padding, guys? Does it feel like I'm padding?
It's we're walking a tight line.
Yeah, a rat line. Hey, no, don't high five that. Don't high five that. Don't high five it.
Okay, so here's a list of some of the people that specifically this Bishop Hudal helped escape to Argentina.
Can we call him a bitch-up?
Yeah, of course.
All right, this bitch-up.
And when I get these names wrong, I'm doing it unapologetically because fuck these people, even in the grave.
Yeah.
Okay? Franz Stangl. He was the commanding officer of the Treblinka extermination camp.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is one of the guys that he helped get out.
Yes.
From Treblinka.
Yeah.
That is like a very well-known, terrifying camp.
Yes.
Okay.
Gustav Wagner, who was the commanding officer at Sobibor extermination camp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Aloy Brunner, who was responsible for the Drancy internment camp near Paris and also in charge of deportations in Slovakia to other concentration camps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Eric Priebke, he was responsible for the Adriatine massacre. Adolf Eichmann, who's considered the architect of the Holocaust.
Yes. And he specifically, if you have HBO Max, I think it's on there still. There is a movie about them coming up with like how like the meeting they had.
Yeah.
I think it's Stanley Tucci in it. I'll have to check. But it's a very, very good movie of like explaining that side of things. Eichmann is also was famously then caught, and then he was put on trial in Israel later.
Yeah,
and this was part of like a big deal with that when they were hunting down the Nazis afterwards.
Yeah,
it was what inspired the scene of Magneto killing Nazis in Argentina.
Yeah,
in X-Men, not First Class. I think it might have been First Class, or is it the second movie?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so when I was looking at the people he helped, he did not, there's no definite documentation proving that he specifically helped Joseph Mengele escape, who is considered the Angel of Death. That was his nickname. However, Joseph Mengele did end up using the same Ratlines to flee to Argentina. So whether this priest did it specifically or not, he was part of putting these Ratlines in place.
He was part of creating the pathways.
Exactly.
It's almost as if it's almost the same as being like creating a trail.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know exactly who's going to use it. But yeah, I looked it up, by the way. The movie is called Conspiracy. It's starring Kenneth Branagh, Stanley Tucci, Colin Firth, and others. It's a very, very, very good movie about kind of just like how they analytically sat there and like, how do we kill this many people?
Yeah.
How do we set up? What type of gas should we use? Using the mobile units versus building them. What's our target dates? All these different things. And I just think about it a lot. I think about this movie a lot right now, especially as I hear mass deportation numbers and others, and how much they're like these are the quotas.
Yeah, every time they're talking about their quotas.
Yeah, we need 3,000 a day. Yeah, there's a specific quotas beget inhumanity.
Yeah,
and when you start looking at people less as human beings and as just numbers in a spreadsheet, that's much easier to hit delete on an entire cell.
Yeah. Real quick, I did, because then I was like looking at Joseph Mengele, which I don't recommend.
Don't do that.
Right? But I tried to stay in the context of the fleeing to Argentina, where he was assisted by the government. The government helped him get legal ID and a passport.
The government of where?
Argentina.
Argentina specifically.
Yes.
Got it.
The Argentinian government helped him get legal ID and a passport. And they basically left him alone. They were like, we know who he is. We know what he did. Whatever. But the Argentinian authorities did at a certain point turn on him, because when he was there, he set up like a local business with his family or whatever. And one of the things he was doing was performing back alley abortions. And a young girl died. A teen girl died after one of his back alley abortions, allegedly.
Yeah.
And he had to flee to Paraguay for like months to hide out while they eventually forgot about it and couldn't prove it was him. And so at the end of the day, he was basically kicked out of Argentina because he was performing abortions, not because of anything else he did.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So then here's what happens. I'm reading this and I'm finding out about how the Argentinian government helped Mengele, right? And then I'm like, what the fuck's going on with the Argentinian government, right? Because again, this all started with the Argentinian government. Yeah. Why do they need money?
Because the Argentinian government of today is getting $40 billion.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so then I find out about this German Argentinian millionaire named Ludwig Freud, with an E at the end, different Freud. Okay.
4D.
Freudy. Ludwig Freud, who's a millionaire back then, would have been what? A billionaire now.
Okay, got it.
He was aligned with Nazi intelligence and coordinated contributions from Nazi collaborators to Juan Perón's 1946 presidential campaign.
Wait, Juan Perón?
Yes.
From Evita?
Yes, from the Broadway show about Eva Perón, his wife.
Yeah.
Juan Perón, who was running for, I think, his third term at this point.
Wait, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. Madonna.
Yes.
That Juan Perón.
Yes.
If y'all haven't, in the 90s, I want you to know, there was a moment where they were like, don't cry for it. It was everywhere.
It was everywhere.
Where they're doing the Broadway thing now where the lady walks out on out onto the street and she sings it to everyone from the balcony.
Yeah. Well, Eva Perón has a much different history than Juan Perón because she is kind of sanctified. She's considered a saint.
Yeah, she's like their Princess Diana.
Exactly. She's their Princess Diana.
I know.
And apparently we're all just ignoring the fact that she was married to Juan Perón.
Yeah.
I guess.
But Juan Perón also was a highly he's integral in Argentina.
Yes.
The Peronist party, his party was in this current president they have now, Milei, defeated a Peronist party. They keep acting like, oh, he keeps yelling, we defeated the socialists, we defeated the communists, we got all these. They're Peronists.
Yeah.
Who were like fascist allies. This guy is just like a psycho libertarian on top of that. This is just like one of the things I always find interesting is once you get out of Western Europe and America, none of the lines make sense.
Yeah.
Like when you get to some, like there's certain countries when you're like, yeah, I'm a liberal. People are like, you fucking racist. And you're like, what?
Wait, what?
And then you're like, wait, that means in I think it's Australia, liberals are the conservatives.
Yeah.
Because, the water goes backwards too. But there's just there's things like this where when you get outside of especially a Western heterodox worldview, you're suddenly like, oh shit, okay, I have to relearn all the terms.
Yeah.
We all could be saying everything in English, but the words mean the exact opposite.
Yeah. And you're like, maybe I'll try to figure out how India's government works.
No,
and you're
never
like,
gonna happen.
Way,
never
dude.
gonna happen.
No way.
No way.
Okay, so Juan Perón appointed Santiago Peralta, who was an avowed anti-Semite, as his immigration commissioner. Mm-hmm. And Ludwig Freud, the millionaire, right? His son, Rodolfo, as the head of the country's first intelligence bureau. So we got Santiago, the anti-Semite, and Ludwig, the Nepo baby, running the intelligence bureau that's going to help with streamlining getting the Nazis in.
And meanwhile, there already were a lot of Germans living in this area.
This is Doge.
Yeah. No, I know. I understand that. I'm just saying, though, the reason why you're hearing all these German names is you're hearing them because there was a ton of German. There had been a lot of German migration from Germany, even before World War II. So there was all these German colonies and things like that in the area. But you're completely right, though. This is Doge.
It's Doge.
They're coming in and they're slowly taking over areas of the government that most people wouldn't notice or think are that important.
Yeah, you got an avowed anti-Semite. You got the Stephen Miller or whatever. And then you got a Nepo baby who's just rich. And that's Elon.
Yeah.
And they're going to come help with the intelligence bureau. What?
And immigration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these two guys aided European war criminals by streamlining their pathway to citizenship and employing them
like a golden visa?
And employing them within their government departments.
Yeah, gave them jobs.
Yep.
The same way like a South African farmer.
Yeah.
Look at that. Do you guys know that the only refugees we're taking right now are white South African farmers to America? And then they get here and they're like, this place sucks. And we're like, yeah, dude.
You gotta go.
Welcome to hell.
And these guys obviously coordinated and collaborated closely with the Ratline.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Yeah. They're the end goal of the Ratline.
Exactly.
Argentina is Nazi Canada.
Oh my God.
Does that make sense?
So
when viewing it the way of the Underground Railroad.
No.
I want to explain it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's in the same way that Canada were like a highly northern state where they didn't think that slave catchers would cross the borders.
Yeah.
Before Civil War. Canada was like the end goal for a lot of different people of how can we get enslaved peoples out so they wouldn't be able to, slave catchers couldn't cross into Canada. It's the same thing with getting them to Argentina under the hope of at least then we'll have international law.
Then the Nazi hunters couldn't get them.
Yeah, because they didn't think the Nazi hunters would go to the lengths they did.
Yeah, we should do a whole episode on the Nazi hunters.
We could, but then I don't like how some of their kids turned out.
Okay.
Okay.
So some of the refugees, that's what they called themselves, the refugees, immersed themselves in Latin America by pretending to be farmers and or Catholic.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's just so crazy to me because Nazis hate Catholics. And so it's like, not only did Catholics help them, but then they're going to pretend to be Catholics so that they can go unnoticed.
Well, so here's the thing, is actually the Nazi hierarchy hated Catholics.
Yeah.
The average Nazi, the average soldier, the average person in that area, they were kind of indifferent. The reason why the Nazis hated the Catholic Church was because it was a counter institution to their power.
Yeah.
And so if you have over here a Nazi leader telling you need to kill 15 people from your hometown because they're different, and a Catholic priest stands up and goes, guys, just so you know, the Bible says this is bad, then you're going to be mad at the Catholic priest because he's getting in the way.
Yeah.
The same way Catholic priests right now are standing up and outside
getting
of
shot in the head with
pepper
rubber
balls.
bullets and pepper bullets.
Yeah, pepper balls. The CIA famously ran throughout the South America killing Catholic nuns and saying, and I quote, they're more than just nuns, they were activists. Like, this is stuff that, like, that was the 70s under liberation theology and all these other different things that have come up over time. There's a lot inside of this of, like, these little strands that you can unpack here that get fucking crazy.
Listen, I couldn't do all of them, okay? There's only so much time.
No, eventually you end up just kind of like frothing at the mouth and like, oh, it's always been bad. But the in this case, what these guys are doing, pretending to be Catholic, because Argentina is also a very heavily Catholic country.
Yeah.
But also there were other people, but went to other areas that pretended to be Jews.
Yeah.
They pretended to be all sorts of different things. And then when asked about the war, they would always come back with like, oh, I was just a private. Because every German man who was in Germany at one point or another if you were able-bodied, had to fight in the war.
Yeah.
They were, at the end, they were taking kids and old men. You know? So it's just like, it's a total destruction.
So listen.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. We need to breathe again.
Oh, yeah, you should. We should breathe again.
So let's take a break. And when we come back, I want to talk about a different religion that the Nazi leadership said was okay.
All right, we want to thank whoever is here that's on this next part for supporting our Comedy History podcast. It is me, Chef Pepe Pizzeria. Was it Pepperoni?
I don't remember.
Pepe Pepperoni is my name, and we highly love our sponsor. Thank you so much. Okay, now back to the show.
This puppet. Okay. So...
It's either, listen, there's only so many ways that I can cope. All right?
I know.
It's either clown makeup, a board, or this fucking puppet. This is how I talk to the world when it seems too dangerous.
So the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Oh,
what do you know
God.
about them?
Oh, God. Almost every lunatic religion, like offshoot cult religion-y thing,
Yeah.
their Seventh-day Adventist is like right there.
Yeah.
It's always like, this guy became a Seventh-day Adventist. 2 years later was like, I got my own thing.
Yeah.
And then like it's like the building block. It's the starter kit.
Yeah.
It's your Warhammer 40K starter kit. And then before you know it, you're like, I've created my own special chapter. These guys are the Pepe Pizzerias. And they're just super cool dudes. They're a spinoff of the Dark Angels.
Wait, I remember you told me those were bad.
What?
The Dark Angels.
Dark Angels are, no, okay. Don't ask.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
The Fallen are bad.
The Fallen are bad.
The Fallen of the Dark Angels are bad.
Oh, my God.
All right? I'm holding a pizza puppet on camera. All right.
All right. So the Seventh-day Adventist.
Seventh-day Adventist.
So then here's me. I open a tab about the Seventh-day Adventist because I was like looking at the different religions.
Are they the ones who they do church on Saturday?
Yes.
Yeah, they're Saturday church.
They're Saturday church.
You would think that wouldn't break your brain.
Saturday church breaks your brain.
Saturday church, you need that day off, and then you need church.
Yes.
If you're going to do church.
So, yeah. So I started looking up, clicky.
Yeah.
Because I was so shocked about the Catholic stuff that I was like, well, what other religions were kind of going on at this point? And Seventh-day Adventists came up, right?
Yeah.
So the rise of Adolf Hitler was enthusiastically welcomed by the Adventist leaders. One leader saying it was a refreshing spirit of reformation. Another regarded Hitler as God's chosen, praising his avoidance of alcohol, nicotine, and a vegetarian lifestyle.
Oh, look at that. He's just a good guy.
Yeah,
Just a good guy with clean living.
Yeah, because the Adventists are really into clean living.
Yeah, and
That's
you know
like their
what?
whole
Actually, when we did 2 years ago, when we were focusing a lot more on like the late 1800s,
Yeah.
a lot of those, like the Kellogg's and all those other different guys, when it came into like these crazy health food diets,
Yeah.
and a lot of their ideas were wrapped in Seventh-day Adventist scripture.
Yes, exactly. So the Adventists supported Hitler, believing he guaranteed religious freedom.
Okay, give me a second here. Just gotta. I have to also keep in mind, number one, and this is I heard another history podcast talking about this. Is one of the horrors of World War II is in that not everyone knew. They didn't have the experience of hindsight.
Yeah.
Right. And so the idea of saying that the Nazis would guarantee religious freedom and then knowing what they were doing to the Jews, even knowing what they were saying about the Jews at the time, it doesn't click to us in a modern sensibility.
Yeah.
These people are also assholes. But there also was a time, you have to understand, that in Europe especially, there would be waves of anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
Where there would be like a 5-year period where they're like, we're going to do it. They would call them pogroms. We're going to do a bunch of pogroms. The same way in America, we would have race riots.
Yeah.
The same way you would have these waves of lynchings of black people. In Europe, you had waves of lynchings and having whole villages burned down, all these different things, and pogroms of Jews because they needed to have some sort of scapegoat outsider to go after.
Yes.
And so the Nazis were very good at being able to industrialize this. And that was what's so shocking. That's why when we look at things like the ICE poster of them saying there's enemies at the gate and that they're knights holding up swords on Instagram, you're like, wait, that's Nazi shit.
Yeah.
And it's because ICE and DHS is trying to industrialize the propaganda in that same way. They're trying to pump these things out, and who do you go look towards than this example?
Yeah.
Because they did it, and they're willing to use the weapons and the tools in this way while claiming that it doesn't corrupt them themselves.
So in one of the towns that in Germany where they had a really high Adventist population, 99.9% of the population voted for the Nazi party. Okay,
Yep.
so they're behind it, right?
Yeah.
Now, the leader of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Germany from 1937 to 1950 was a man named Adolf Mink.
Imagine being that one guy who didn't vote for it.
Listen,
Anyway, I know right now there's a lot of listeners who are blue dots out there. I know that there's a lot of you who are blue dots out there, and I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, we
thank
see
you. And you're sane. Not only do we see you and we hear you,
yeah.
all right, okay, all right, Nancy
All right,
Pelosi.
Lib. All right,
more,
Lib.
we're not going to live up on that, but just more in general of just like, we know.
Yeah.
And that's why I just want to say, of like, in that context of, it's hard to be the only person that you can see, which is why the No Kings protests and other things like that are important. So you know that there's other people are actually around you.
Yeah.
And counter protesting is important on this type of stuff. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So Adolf Mink, M-I-N-C-K, Mink, he's the president of the Central European Division of the church in Germany. Okay, so he's the guy who's in charge of the church. Upon becoming leader of the church in 1933, Mink declared, quote, "We are not unprepared for the new order, pledging to support the Nazi regime's agenda." Okay.
Okay. So that's the leader of the Seventh-day Adventist Church for Central Europe.
Yes.
Okay.
In 1936, the Nazi state banned the Seventh-day Adventist reform movement. Because like you said, there's always these like little
Splinters,
movements,
yeah.
these splinter movements. So the Nazis banned the splinter reform movement.
That's not freedom of religion.
Hey, whoa.
Hey.
The Adventist leadership promptly issued a directive prohibiting members from associating with reformist Adventists and excluding all Adventists of Jewish descent from the church and forbidding aid to them.
Yeah, and this is another thing that was very different. It was a change from the 1800s. Back in the day, you could convert out of Judaism.
Yeah.
You could. When we did an episode a long time ago about the Spanish Inquisition, one of the things was the Spanish Inquisition targeted conversios, which are people who converted from Judaism to Catholicism in Spain. because that was who were under church jurisdiction.
Yeah.
But over time, it was like as people converted, it changed. And the word anti-Semite changed and exists because, especially in Central Europe, there were views of it's not their belief, it's not their religion that makes them this way. There's something inherent.
Yeah.
There's something genetic. There's something race about a Jewish person versus a Christian person versus a German versus a Bavarian versus a Briton, all these different people, like as it came together. And so in the past, if you were a Christian and you would accept anyone else who had converted to accept Jesus Christ as their savior, that was it. That was how you get into heaven. That's how you get accepted into the community. But now the Seventh-day Adventists themselves are saying you can't even get out of that.
Yeah.
They're saying it doesn't matter. If 3 generations ago, your grandfather slept with a Jewish woman and that was your great-grandfather and that was your grandpa, you aren't allowed to be even in our group anymore.
Yeah.
You're completely being ostracized and cut out completely. That was mad different. Mm-hmm. That was a huge change, and that was a societal change that you've had. And part of that, which has been coming up a lot recently, was learned from America. That is part of the one-drop rule when looking at racial purity in America, especially among black people in the South, and when you had people that were of mixed race descent. So if you had, quote, one drop of black blood in your family history, then you were racially black according to the statistics and everything else here in America, versus how you identified didn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
According to America. And that idea coming kind of circling back into Europe is where the terrifyingness comes from.
Yeah.
It's a cyclical look.
Yeah. So in 1940, Mink stated that every Adventist would fulfill their duty, quote, during this time of war, citing Romans 7:12, which says, the law is holy and the commandment is holy. So we have to follow the law.
So I think that might be almost exactly the same one that was quoted. That exact actual fucking passage was quoted in some documents from the early 2000s of what was supposed to be disseminated to preachers in the time of like national distress in America, like under like some Patriot Act ideas.
Yeah.
There's quite a few of those of just like, hey, just so you know, because there's like some weird, that one was what, Romans, did you say?
Yeah, Romans.
Yeah. Those are Paul's letters. There's a few different things in there of them being like, hey, sometimes you just got to do what the government says because the government wouldn't be the government unless God chooses. God's so great that if there's any government that exists, that's because God liked them. Unless it's a government I don't like, then they're the enemies of God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So throughout the Third Reich, Mink compiled... throughout the Third Reich, Mink complied with Nazi directives, including those requiring work on Saturdays, their sacred day.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Huh.
So they changed the whole religion to comply.
It's like a Mormon drinking a Coke. Okay, keep going.
After the war, he claimed, quote, the sword of Damocles hung over us all those years, asserting that his actions ensured the denomination's survival without violating biblical principles.
Like working on Saturday.
Yeah, like we're having to work on Saturday.
Okay. Yeah. Which they stole from the Jews.
Yeah.
Mind you, they were
No, they famously, the whole thing is that the Seventh-day Adventists steal from the Jewish texts.
Yeah.
They don't steal them, but they reference fine.
They're culture vultures.
And that's where they get the Saturdays. That's where they get the idea of being vegetarian and eating healthy. Like, there's all these very specifics. They definitely pick and choose. They're cafeteria pickers. You know
The same way that somebody who eats shrimp will also tell you that homosexuality is an abomination because they'll quote Leviticus, even though in that same exact fucking book they shouldn't be wearing polyester or blended clothing or all
I'm
these other
wearing a
different
blended
things.
cotton shirt right now.
Yeah, what's it say?
It says miscellaneous immorality.
Hey, look at that miscellaneous immorality. Look at that. It's a good looking shirt.
A little John Brown.
Yeah.
So,
go to the description.
Okay, so here's the thing about the Seventh-day Advent Church. And many churches, actually.
Yeah.
They love a mission, right? They love going somewhere else, setting up shop, and trying to convert some people.
Especially if that place is nice. Especially if that place is nice, because you know why? You know why? Because you can do it as a write-off. Oh, look at me. I'm
That's all the
traveling.
Mormons in Hawaii.
Ah, God.
No, so guess where they set up some missions?
I'm going to take a wild guess and say Argentina.
Yes, that's exactly how I got here.
Yeah.
Okay, so now from this point forward, this is all just opinion, comedy, allegedly. I'm just talking out my opinions, okay? I'm just getting into some ideas from things I found, and I can't prove any of it, and I don't think I'm trying to. I'm just going to tell you some stuff.
Okay, you're going to tell me some things that you found on the internet that are just happen to be...
I'm going to put some puzzle pieces together, and I want to hear what you think.
I don't think you're going to put them together.
With.
I'm going to say it this way. I think you're going to lay some puzzle pieces on the table, and then we can all use our mental acuity to put those puzzle pieces snap together on our own individual ways, because you're just laying out things in no particular order.
I'm just talking, man.
Okay?
This is a podcast.
This is a comedy
It's comedy
podcast.
history podcast.
It's comedy. We're just, by the way, what's your degree in?
Paralegal.
You're a paralegal associate's degree.
Yeah.
I have an associate's degree in general studies.
This is a comedy history podcast, guys.
We
don't know what we're talking about.
Before we go any further, because I'm terrified now, because you don't usually put this much ahead. We're yappers.
That's all we do.
We
this
yap.
Is commentary, okay?
This is yap. Opinions.
So let's just say that 2 Seventh-day Adventist people are in Argentina working on a mission together.
Are they German?
They're German.
2 German Seventh-day Adventists go to Argentina to do a mission. And by mission...
Or they're born there.
Okay.
But they're in Argentina of German descent, and they're Seventh-day Adventists, and they fall in love and they get married.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That happens.
And then they move to Mexico to do another mission in Mexico. Okay. And they have a baby. Okay. And their baby is named, one of them, they have multiple kids.
Yeah.
But one of their daughters, her name is Catherine von Drakenberg. Okay. And I did want to just do a quick sidebar real quick before we get into Catherine von Drakenberg about the Vons of it all.
Okay.
Because sometimes German names that have von in them, they give you a specific vibe.
Yeah.
A specific energy. And that's because von in German means of this place. So the nobles pre-1945, people of noble heritage or generally important would have von in their name so that they could show their caste.
Got it. So von is like, in Italy, Da Vinci.
Exactly.
He is from Vinci.
Yeah.
Like that's that same sort of general idea.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. So
of Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. Got it.
All right. So that's where we're getting this. And again, after 1945, the use of von really stopped because the nobility was obviously ripped apart by Hitler's
the nobility fell apart after World War I to a degree, but there were still nobles around who were still trying to hold on to that. And then von is also so German.
Yeah.
It's so German that then after the war, people wanted to especially if they were in America, they were trying to assimilate more and trying to hide some of their German heritage.
Or they wanted to wear Von Dutch t-shirts.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just that's what Von comes from.
Like with Theo Von. Von is not actually his last name.
What's his last name?
It's like Von Ostashchup. It's something really long with an O.
Yeah, of course it is.
Because his family is Polish nobility.
So Catherine von Drakenberg, also known as Kat Von D, famous tattoo artist, makeup mogul, and now current Christian influencer.
Kat Von D?
Yeah, Kat Von D from LA Inc.
Kat Von D.
Yeah, Kat Von D.
The Von D is for Von Drakenberg?
Yeah. Do you want to take a quick break? We'll come back and maybe we'll unpack this a little.
I think there's a lot I need to unpack here. Right after this. Stop choosing between looking good and keeping warm this fall. Get it all with Quince. Quince wardrobe staples are comfortable, durable, and built to last with classic fit denim and real leather and wool outerwear. You'll look sharp and be ready for whatever the season throws your way. We're talking $60 Mongolian cashmere, premium denim that fits, and their suede trucker jacket you'll wear year after year. And I'm actually rocking my Quince quarter zip right now that I have on here. I love this thing. It's perfect. It fits for everything. It has both that like casual, but also I can get away with it in a meeting. And I throw it on real quick when I want to go run to go pick up the baby from daycare. It works for everything. And Quince saves customers money by totally cutting out the middleman. They partner directly with ethical factories and top artisans, delivering premium quality at half the cost of other brands. Simply put, you're going to want Quince in your wardrobe. Layer up this fall with pieces that feel as good as they look. Go to quince.com/TMT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/TMT. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/TMT. Welcome back to our comedy history podcast. That's right. It's a comedy history.
That's right. We just talk about stuff.
Opinions and yap.
Opinions and yap.
Opinions and yap.
This is not real stuff.
Do your own research. Do your own research.
I did. I got you.
I know, but I'm telling the people.
Oh, okay. So
I'm telling the people who are in the comments, who are giving us 5 stars, who are following us,
subscribing, liking,
looking at us across all of social media.
And they're saying, we don't know how she got here, but she did.
Wow. How did this happen?
So, Kat Von D.
And hey, Kat Von D, real quick, just so you know, this is all Donald Trump's fault. If he and the Secretary Bessent didn't just randomly give $40 billion to Argentina.
Yeah, I would
never have clicked.
Here.
This is just what happens when you start clicking.
You just start opening tabs.
Okay, so what tab do you have about her?
So here's the thing about Kat Von D.
I know that there's a lot of controversy.
She has scandals.
Controversy.
Because a lot of people think she's anti-Semitic.
Okay.
And so like this all this information, it doesn't help. But so then I was thinking about the idea when I started looking into Kat Von D, right?
Yeah.
And I started thinking about like that quote that's like, you're a sum of the people you surround yourself with, right?
Yeah.
And so I started looking at some of the people historically she has surrounded herself with.
And associated with.
And yes.
Okay.
And so I think I just want to show you some people, and we'll just have some commentary on the people that she has in the past surrounded herself with.
Okay.
Okay. So there's this guy, his name is Oliver Peck, and she used to date him. He's a tattoo artist. And the picture I'm putting up right now is him in blackface at Halloween. This was posted on his MySpace page.
On his MySpace page? Mm-hmm. What the fuck? Why is there a giant N on his chest?
Because he said he was super. Okay?
Okay. And this is the person that she hung out with.
That she dated. This is him in blackface in a different Halloween costume.
He's done multiple blackface Halloween costumes?
Yeah, he's multiple. He's just like super into it. Yeah.
Can I tell you?
Uh-huh.
Can I tell you how, like, there's so many times when I'll be scrolling on shit and people will be like, oh, yeah, you know, everyone has a Nazi phase, or like everybody. I was like, no, they don't.
No.
And also, this man's like 30 years old during these things.
Yeah, he's grown.
Yeah, that's him. It's him in blackface pretending to be an NBA player, and then him also being super. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then so she dated him, right? And then she dated Jesse James. Here's a picture of Jesse James.
Yeah, that's his heart going out to people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his hat is interesting.
Yeah, what's that skull symbol on his hat?
Oh, that's the skull symbol that the guy from Maine has tattooed on him.
Oh, yeah, that's a Totenkopf.
Yeah, that specific skull, which is on this hat,
Yep.
is tattooed on the guy from Maine that is running for Democrat.
Yeah. And again, as many people have said, we're not saying that Graham Plattner is a Nazi, but having to constantly say, I'm not a Nazi, is not a great moment.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw that out there. Who's that other lady in the picture?
That's I think she's a porn star named Michelle McKee. I think Jesse James dated her.
Oh, okay. And she's also wearing that hat. Famously, by the way, I talked about this on Crashing Out with Phil DeFranco.
Okay.
We have
another podcast?
I have 5 podcasts. But I do 4 podcasts with you. Okay, let's go down all of them right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Too Many Tabs.
Great podcast.
We do the after party where we react to all of the comments here
Love
on our
that one.
Patreon. We do the story report once a month where you read a book and then tell me about it.
Yeah.
And lastly, again, only on Pearlmania500.net, our Patreon, we do Vibing with the Food Idiot, where you go and explain a food to me and how it's cooked, because I don't know how to cook and I'm a fucking moron when it comes to the kitchen.
Yeah.
And you explain it to me in a very funny way that's always fun.
Also, in this week's after party, I tell the story about Natalie Portman and the apple.
Yeah, you did.
Highly requested.
You did on this week's episode. You completely explained what happened between...
So anyway, you and Phil DeFranco.
Me and Phil DeFranco talked about specifically the Totenkopf and this hat, and why I think it's insane for Graham Plattner to explain that he doesn't know what that symbol is, specifically because that is the exact skull referenced in the Michelin Webb sketch.
What?
Remember, there's a sketch. It went very viral for years on YouTube, and it comes up all the time. Are we the baddies?
Oh, yeah.
We have skulls on our hat. And that's the skull they're pointing at. It's the same skull. It's been everywhere.
Yeah. I just also think it's crazy to get a tattoo and then you didn't do any research on what it meant.
For 18 years?
18 years.
I want you guys to know every single person I've ever met with a tattoo
They always have a story.
They have a reason behind
There's
it.
always and if it's oh, me and my bestie got a tattoo, because I think he said it was a group of friends got a tattoo.
He
right?
said it was his other people he worked with in the military, and they were in Croatia and they were drunk.
Okay,
and
but
then the reason we know that he even had it is because there was a video of him drunk running around in his underwear. Again, it doesn't look great. Like, you want to be a senator. Like, I understand. Listen, I'm cool. I'm chill with, I got drunk and ran around a wedding in my underwear. Fine, whatever.
Sure, yeah.
But this is how we found out.
Also, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Remember how I was telling you about that priest? There was another priest. I didn't go do lots of research on him, but he was in Croatia.
Oh, yeah.
He's a Croatian priest.
No, 'cause, again, there was the the Germans weren't just fascists. Fascism was founded by Benito Mussolini in Italy. It became very, very popular, including in the United States, including all over the world. A lot of people really respected Benito Mussolini and the fascist party, and there were collaborators and fascists all across Europe. There were a shit ton of partisan fascist fighters all throughout the Balkans, specifically Croatia, and later was Yugoslavia and all these other different areas. Bulgaria and others were all aligned with Germany. A lot of the ideas and memory of these fascists were completely wiped out when the Red Army ran through and then forcibly made all of their governments communist.
Yeah.
A lot of that was then completely wiped out. When we look at places like Ukraine and we look at the Nazi aesthetics that are there, oftentimes they view in Eastern Europe as Nazi aesthetic as not being anti-Semitic or the memory of the Holocaust. They look at it as being anti-Russian and anti-Red Army. So there's this, again, this is one of those things where when you get outside of the bubble of the worldview that we look at things.
Yeah.
So when you go to a place like Croatia, they'll have Nazi shit up there. And depending on the day, the symbol means something different to different people who were there.
Yeah.
And this is where
also, if you're with a group of people and there's a Nazi symbol in a tattoo shop and you're all going to get it, I feel like you do a quick Google search. I feel like even when you get home, I think 10 years later, you're like, there's a thing. It's on my body. I'm going to be buried one day with this image on me. I want to notice. I know people that have tattoos of Snoopy as a pinup. You know what I mean? I know people that have the most insane tattoos that have meaning behind them.
Yeah.
And if they got a tattoo with their friends, it's oh, we all got this matching tattoo of blank because we have an inside joke about this, or this was a shared experience.
The thing is that I've heard from a lot of people is that it's a very shared experience to be with a bunch of your military buddies, get hammered, and get a cool skull.
Okay.
The same way the Punisher skull gets used everywhere when the guy who invented Punisher is that's not, the Punisher skull isn't for cops.
Yeah.
But cops get it all the time. This is the argument. And again, I understand the argument. And I understand the argument in general of whether or not we would let some dude named Graham be around, or whether or not he should be shunned from society. That's a different argument for whether or not you should be a senator. But as I talked about on the show, Crashing Out this week, and as I've talked about on this show before, I don't give a fuck about Maine. So I just want to just be clear about that to our main listeners. I love you as a person.
I love you, main listeners.
I'm
going to come up there and stay in a bed and breakfast.
Mrs. P will
I'm
come
going to go blueberry picking. I'm going to have a great time.
Maybe someday when she does a solo event, her first, you know what? Your first solo event can be in Maine.
Okay, great.
It won't be with me.
Yeah.
Because I won't. I'm not crossing that border. Also, there's a Dana Carvey sketch.
Listen to me.
Skinhead Nazis from Maine. It's a famous Dana Carvey sketch. It's from his show before it got pulled off the air. Stephen Colbert was in it. There's like a lot. There's just so much. There's so much. But this whole moment allegedly is supposed to be about Kat Von D.
So, okay, no, but we were talking about Jessie James.
Oh, yes.
Because she dated Jessie James.
Yes.
Who famously cheated on Sandra Bullock, by the way, with, I believe, Kat Von D. The timeline is very sus. Suspect timeline of he was like married to Sandra Bullock, I think, and they were in the process of adopting a child, and then he got caught cheating on Sandra Bullock, and she ended up like canceling all of her the movie premieres for The Blind Side. Remember the Blind Side movie? Yeah, Jessie James calls the cancellation of the Blind Side movie premieres.
I don't want to unpack that. I don't want to unpack that. I don't want to unpack any of that.
So here's the thing. Then I'm looking at these things and I'm like, okay, listen, she's young. She's in her 20s during all this. Who didn't date a bunch of scumbags in their 20s?
Okay.
Right? Maybe she matures. She gathers empathy. She realizes these are bad people. I shouldn't surround myself with them.
Yeah.
And then she gets married. This is a picture of her husband.
That's a swastika on his throat, babe.
Yeah. He has a tattoo of a swastika on his throat. He says it's for religious meanings.
Oh, he's trying to claim that it's like the Buddhist swastika?
Uh-huh.
Is that hold on.
It's in a lotus flower, and next to it is an
No, but that's
Egyptian.
a Star of David in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the Egyptian eye and the Egyptian, what's that one? I forget the name of it.
The Ankh.
The Ankh.
That's an Ankh.
So there's two Egyptians famously enslaved Jewish people.
Yeah,
So why would you have a
according to
Star
their
of
stories,
David?
yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, there's a lot of choices.
This is the weirdest coexist sticker to put across your fucking throat. This is the oddest coexist sticker I've ever seen. I want to throw that out there.
Bumper sticker,
when they made the coexist stickers for hippies to slap on the back of their car during the Iraq War, they famously did not include a swastika.
Yeah, dude.
And like, again, I understand the whole, we're trying to take, there's some things you just can't take back yet.
Also, this man is not Jewish, so it's not his to take back, right?
But it's also beyond that. Like, this is just insane. This is a choice.
This is a crazy
Again,
choice.
this is a crazy choice. And I understand. Get in the comments and tell me it's backwards.
But when he looks in a mirror, it's not.
Oh. Yeah, if he makes a TikTok, right, which always reverses everything, unless you use the inverted, which then really makes you feel weird as you're moving around.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be that.
So listen, okay, fine. Okay. Here's what I want to say.
So her husband has a swastika on his neck.
Women aren't the men they're with, right? I'm not going to hold her to her husband's mistakes.
Perfect example. You don't hate Maine.
No, I love Maine.
You love Maine. You're always trying to get me to go there.
Yeah.
And I say, no, too many lakes.
So you know what? I'm going to say, maybe I'm wrong for saying that you're the sum of the people you hang out with. She is not the men that she has surrounded herself with, right?
Yes.
On her own, she is a successful businesswoman who used to own a very successful makeup company that was in Sephora called Kat Von D.
What do you mean used to?
She sold it.
She sold
her parts of it, her whatever, the stock in it.
Yeah.
To Kendo, the brand that owns it, in like 2020.
Okay. She sold off.
She sold off all of it, but
Okay.
at its peak, its valuation was $150 million in value.
God.
So she is a very rich, very successful makeup brand at the time. Okay?
At the time.
And so one of the things you need to know as a girly pop, she was very famous for her liquid lipsticks. So like when we look at my lipstick, this is a MAC lipstick I have. You see how it's like, this is a tube of lipstick, right?
It's like a stick. Yeah.
It's a stick. There's a thing called liquid lipsticks in which it's like melted down and it kind of goes on like a lip gloss, but it dries on and it gets really strongly held onto there.
Like for the fellas out there, it's like the lip balm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the there's some, you go get the chapstick. If you're a man, you get chapstick.
Yeah.
And then if you got one friend who's like, hey man, come on, get Burt's Bees.
Yeah.
But then every now and then, if you go a little metrosexual, somebody will hand you this tube with a little dot at the top.
Yeah.
And it gets just a little squidge.
Yeah.
Because it smears across the top, and then you smear that card. You go, oh man,
That's nice.
I should use this. And then you buy 2 of them, and then you're out one night and you pull it out, and then your one buddy goes, I didn't know you were gay. And you're like, ah, shit. And then you never use them again, and now you just have dry, cracked lips because homophobia affects everybody.
These liquid lipsticks are like that, but they stick to your lips really well. And that's why they were so popular, because during this time, liquid lipsticks were all the rage. And she didn't have the market cornered, but she had a huge chunk of it for these liquid lipsticks.
Okay.
Famously. And so one of the things she did is she had like really cool rock and roll like imagery. All of her packaging was very rock and roll.
Well, her thing is very much rockabilly, right? It's like
LA
rockabilly. LA rockabilly. Is there burlesque in there a little bit?
There's a lot of burlesque. There's a lot of maybe like cholo culture.
Yeah.
All of that mixed in.
It's that very specific type of tattoo as well. Yeah.
So that was all like on her branding and marketing and all that stuff. And the thing is,
because she's a white girl from Mexico.
Yeah.
It's kind of what the selling point is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she releases all these like really cool names and cool colors that you couldn't get other places. So I found some that she released. This is from a podcast, not a podcast, a Twitter post from the Kat Von D Twitter. Now you can see this pink one. This is Melancholia. This is a different color pink, and this is called Lovesick. Here's a like mauve pink, and this is called Rosemary Baby. See, that's rock and roll because that's like a dark movie. Rosemary's Baby is spooky. Now this one right here, what's that name? Can you read that for the listeners?
Selection.
Selection. Selektion.
It's hard to read because it's in white Gothic lettering, right? Yeah. It's in white Gothic lettering, but already in like a white spot. So like now with Canva would automatically recommend that you put an outline around it so it would pop a little bit.
Yeah.
So the last one was called Selection.
Yeah. Now I just opened up a page on my computer here for you about what that word means.
German name Selection is the name given to the process of designated inmates either for murder or forced labor at a Nazi concentration camp.
Yeah, that's what that word means. Selection, spelled Selektion. That's what that word means.
It would be, okay, yeah, all right, okay.
So again,
that's like a single red strand. That's we're not doing a full board. That's a single red strand. It's also in Gothic lettering, which isn't always Nazi coded.
No.
But goddamn, do Nazis love it?
They love it.
They love it. They love it. That Gothic lettering.
Anyway.
Here, wait, real fast. Here's a picture of Triple H, where it covered in iron crosses. Paul Levesque, the chief booker of the WWE, just him covered in so many iron crosses. All right.
Yeah. So I mean, that to me says maybe she has some anti-Semitic views. If you are some of the people that you hang out with, if you would name a lipstick that, now there was a lot of backlash when that got posted.
Yeah.
And they ended up, believing not releasing it, like actually not, they had to like, I think they didn't even put it on the shelves because so many people were like, hey,
why are you using the German word for selection?
Yeah. Why, Rosemary's Baby, okay.
Yeah.
Why the specific word that's used in the context of the Holocaust would you name that? That's not edgy.
Yeah.
That's not edgy. So anyway, after she sold her business in 2020, she left LA because I don't know if you know, California is just like too woke.
So 2020 was the end for her. Did she move to Austin, Texas?
She didn't. She actually ended up moving to Indiana. And she bought a hay tycoon's mansion in Indiana.
Wait, hold on. Did you say the word hay tycoon?
Yeah, because she bought this house. It's called the Benjamin Schenck Mansion.
Okay.
In Vevey, Indiana. And I looked it up because I was like, who used to own this? And the guy that used to own this mansion was a hay magnate. He sold hay.
Can I tell you, that even looks like this. So if you've ever driven through any small town, there's always, or like rural region, there's always like 2 buildings that look like this.
Yeah.
Where as you drive by, you go, Oh, war crime guy
Yeah.
lived there. There was a song a while ago.
Somebody with a baron at the end.
Yeah.
This guy's a hay baron.
A hay baron.
And then I read up on the history of this guy. He spent all of his hay baron money building this, and he died before it was completed.
Fuck you.
Boo.
Fuck you. You should have paid more in taxes.
Baron.
Oh, being a hay baron.
Anyway, she moved to Indiana, and guess what she did? Converted to Christianity.
Oh, now she converted?
Yeah.
Her parents were Seventh-day Adventists, weren't
But
they?
listen, I don't know how any of this. No, because she was really into the occult and witchcraft and tarot. Like she went on this whole.
She culture vultured. She did the same thing. She did Miley Cyrus. I made all my money telling you guys that I really love your goth shit.
Yep.
Look at me. I love your goth shit. Goth. Oh, I made enough money. Christian time. Time to do my country solo tour.
Well, she had to pivot because she kept having all these controversies.
Yeah, because woke people, the people that are cool that she wants to hang out with, don't want her to do Nazi shit.
Yeah. Well, she does hang out a lot with Marilyn Manson.
Oh.
So.
Here's a picture of Marilyn Manson wearing Nazi shit.
Boom.
Hey,
Loves
look at that.
Guy. Loves that guy.
You don't even have that pre-pulled.
I just know
that. There was a thing in the early 2000s that a lot of people don't actually understand. There was a lot of ironic racism. There was, and it sucks. It sucks so hard because there was a lot of, I'm doing this to just get a rise out of you, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people from this time period who did this. The reason why people thought Cartman was interesting from South Park was because this isn't what you're supposed to say. But the joke is he's saying it ha ha ha, and you're supposed to be using this as an ironic lesson to not do that. Yeah. That was what the underlying subtext was. But again, as we've all learned, everyone is fucking stupid and subtext doesn't exist.
Also, that doesn't apply to Marilyn Manson.
No.
Because he fully has done and said things that lean into an anti-Semitic belief system. Also, when his ex-girlfriend, Evan Rachel Wood, came out about all the abuse she experienced from him, a lot of it had to do with doing hurtful things to her and saying anti-Semitic things and doing anti-Semitic. So, like, he is not of that, it's just ironic.
Yeah. It's Nazi shit.
So she left the California demon culture. And
her words. And Kat Von D's words. Sorry. We've jumped through a bunch of different things.
Sorry.
You didn't have Marilyn Manson even written in there.
No.
I just had to say that. But Kat Von D said she left the California demon culture?
Well, no, she said she had to leave California because of the culture and the occult and the belief system. She needed to go. Also, I think she was trying to get away from, like, taxes and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, it was
the same thing when they all leave LA.
No, but Joe Rogan went to Austin because someone told him to put a mask on before he went into a fucking PJ Fuddruckers.
Yeah, and she at the time was getting canceled in quotes because she said she wasn't going to vaccinate her kid.
Yeah.
So, like, she was on the heels of anti-Semitic stuff. Then she got called an anti-vaxxer.
There was something too. Wasn't there also something too with her? I remember now because you would show me makeup shit all the time. There's something about, like, a specific type of like skin tone that was, like, for, like, black women that, like, didn't work, or she wouldn't make stuff. That was
a different person.
That was a different person. Okay, there was a different racist makeup person.
Oh, listen, for the gals that listen, that's a box we can't even open. There's just too many.
There's too many.
So
But someday maybe we'll do a top 7.
I tried.
Top 7 racist makeup ladies. Number 1, Coco Chanel.
True.
I know. She was a Nazi. She straight up was a Nazi.
Yeah.
Coco Chanel was a Nazi.
Oh, God.
Which proves to you every brand can be forgiven, apparently.
No.
Hugo Boss.
Hugo Boss. I tried to watch. I tried to look up all of her, like, reasoning for, like, her religious pivot. I think it's the same reason they all do religious pivots, not me, but
it's the MAGA pivot.
It's
all
the
the left me. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. They asked me to
my Hatch alarm clock is full of demons.
That's so funny, that one.
It literally was a Halloween commercial.
I know.
It's a Halloween commercial, and they went, "That's real." Get out of here.
No
critical. Do you guys know that? The hatch thing. We use it for our baby. It plays a sound.
It makes sounds.
It makes sounds in a light. Sleep. And they made a scary little commercial. Just because they're like, it's Halloween, get some sleep.
I tried to watch this YouTube video about her reasoning. It says Kat Von D on becoming a Christian. I'll put a picture up of it, but I couldn't get through it because look how many ads are in it.
Oh my God. I don't ever, honestly,
we would never do this.
that's an hour 20. We do what? We do maybe 2 to 3 dynamics, right? And 1 to 3 regular ad reads per segment, right?
20. I counted 20.
She has 20. There are 20 dynamic ads in this.
Stop. I was like, every time she started talking,
Wait,
another ad.
and it says includes paid promotion.
I know.
So they're doing baked in ad reads on top of that.
I know.
And this is episode 902?
Of this lady's. It's called Relatable. And she's
Fucking
interviewing.
okay.
It's relatable. And she's interviewing Kat Von D about becoming a Christian.
Did you get how many views did it have? You
I
didn't have
don't
it in the
even know.
screenshot.
I don't have it. I'll find it for you and tell you later.
Tell me later. It doesn't matter. The you know what? Wow.
But so that's everything. I started at our government gave $40 billion to Argentina.
Yeah.
And I ended at Kat Von D. And I don't know how any of it happened.
Thank you so much for listening and watching and enjoying the show. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the fun things.